I want to talk a little bit about the whole photo comparison thing and, what it really means about this conversation. Now, I said right in the video and in general, it's just I'm an amateur doing this because nobody else is doing it and everybody's saying it's obviously him. So I said, I already looked at the pictures and with my eyes and brain, I'm just like, I don't think so, but who knows? And even doing it more careful, yeah, there's suggestibility. The guy replied to it, he's flashing the eyebrows on and off, and it didn't even look scaled. It wasn't necessarily a fair comparison, but they totally didn't match. Because you put the eyebrows on and the skin from the rectangles around it hides the old ones, and they look like, oh, those look good too, but they're not the same. Whatever. The thing that bugs me is the way people criticize it. Like in that case, I would say if somebody says, hey, that was really slipshod, I'd be like, yeah, I just grabbed a couple photos and went into the program and just recorded it. No, I made the layers first. I played with it first, and I said, okay, well, those are good enough. But it was literally like playing with the layers, 20 minutes. I did not do anything that careful. And I explained in the video a more careful way. And that's what people should have been saying if that was their real complaint. This is my point. It's not their real complaint. People are complaining that I didn't take the different focal lengths and I didn't do this and that. It doesn't matter. All of these distortions that happen in images are mathematical. Right? So if you have two images with cameras of a significantly different focal length, or the person's inside, certain of these distortion areas that depending on the kind of camera you're using, you don't need to know the exact focal length to know what kind of distortion that can cause. And in fact, there's all kinds of distortions, and you can mix them all together into a general spatial distortion, right? There's basically this fisheye lens kind of thing where everything gets stretched out, right? Sometimes. Obviously not going on here. And basically there's the actual projection effects of the person being oriented differently with respect to the camera. These are all mathematical things. Anybody that wants to come and go, well, yeah, it could be done very much more carefully. Well, you don't have fucking time to do it more carefully, do ya? Or else do it, right? I don't have to do it carefully. People in the comments of many, well, this wasn't scientific. You don't say. Really? It wasn't scientific. Do you want an apology or something? It was supposed. What land of Lala is your expectation generator built in before being shipped to you in what the fuck are you thinking, Stan? It just shows that it's a rhetorical thing when people start saying, well, chromatic scaling. Yeah. And some of these people, I think, probably do know what these effects are, but then that just shows a dishonesty where I suspect probably they're being dishonest with themselves. They know that this kind of effect, we're not dealing with a big difference with that. Mostly, it doesn't matter. I was just putting up, yeah, hey, here's my half-assed attempt with more than, my first half-assed attempt, just like everybody's done. I guess nobody gets bitched at for this, going, looks like him, doesn't look like him. How half-assed is that? My improvement. We're very suggestible. So I said, well, they keep saying they actually think it's him. Benefit of the doubt. I look closer. And then you all go, oh, that's not scientific. I'll tell you, when you react that way, it makes me think it was convincing. And you're saying, it's convincing, but it shouldn't be, it shouldn't be. That's what bugs me about this stuff. I don't care, I don't expect, rather, for people in general to ever believe this or anything, but I'm going to continue to declare. I am here to tell you what conclusions, what I think, and how I came to those conclusions. You might find that indistinguishable from telling you what to think and why you better think it. Okay? But that would be a problem that you have. Because I'm telling you what I think and how I got there. If that's compelling or not to you, interesting, kind of side question, it's interesting. But it was compelling to me. And that's why honesty, I'm saying this is all based on honesty. People don't share how they got to their conclusion. They get to a conclusion, and if they thought of their history, it's like, oh, that doesn't sound good. And they rebuild one out of the world of forms, and then they go, that's where I got it. That's how I thought of that. Yeah, no, I was in the world of perfect truths, and then I came out here. No, they wandered over this way, you know. It's honesty. You need to tell where your thoughts actually come from, right? I don't care if people think the TSA thing is crazy. Nobody seems to, I mean, a few people do get it, obviously, but I mean, overall, it's not like people are up in arms about that kind of thing. I don't get it. But if I see, even if it's apophenia and I'm putting it in there, I'm going to say, well, this is my gut instinct where it's coming from. I'm going to say those two pictures, even if the whole world, I mean, even after they say, somebody says, that picture is Trayvon, I'm his mother, that's his Twitter, those are his pictures, I will believe that it's him, if that happened. But I still will go, I can't believe that's him, it just doesn't look at all, what? You know? It would be awful weird to me. But if I look at it and I go, oh, I see it now, I was blocking, then I'll say that. From an honest place, I will tell how I got to where I am and what I think the strongest, you know, my version of arguing from the world of forms is just, no, here's the evidence, here's how all the impressions, everything, including evidence that is now acting as pillars for my belief. But I'm not going to go, like, I'm not going to use my knowledge to blow smoke. Well, you can't. It's impossible to compare two pictures unless you know the focal lengths and, you know, the chromatic properties of the glass in the lens. Yeah, right. So, okay. And then out in the real world where we show pictures of people, you never look alike because it's never exactly the same angle or camera. You know, it's like dishonest. It's built-in dishonest there. And a lot of people don't know it and do it without being overall dishonest or feeling like they have to tell themselves they're being dishonest. It's just like, oh no, I follow my feelings at that moment.